You know, I wish I had all the solutions for you. I think you really do raise a point that so many people are struggling right now. Farmers, homeowners, and California is one of the hardest hit states that I've seen. I'm going back to Washington, D.C. as a Californian. I see the struggles that you're facing, and we do need to find faster solutions to address those struggles. Our programs have been focused on putting 10% aside to disadvantaged farmers. All of our grant programs are focused on that and placing priority on those programs that support them. But I know it's not fast enough. And I know it's not a solution that you need today. You're facing a problem that you need help today.
This country is facing a problem, but it doesn't help us. We've been in farming for generations. My family, we lost our farm in Imperial County. We moved with more of our relatives and we bought into Merritt County. We're still under the same threat. Agribusiness, housing development, taking over our farms.
Well, and this is one of the discussions that we're having at USDA, is how do we find more solutions for the people that are facing, can you hear me? How do we find more solutions for the people that are facing these struggles? What things do we need to do? What authorities do we need from Congress? And what additional funding do we need from Congress? We need to all work on that together. I think that's one of the benefits of this discussion and this group and this conference, is finding out what additional solutions do we need and what do we need to be asking Congress for to get those solutions and get that funding so we can get you resources and get you what you need. Yeah? Oh. Oh, she has the mic, sorry.
I'm in some of the same boat that she's in. If you don't fit into the box that they have for USDA rural farm services grants or farm services agencies, explicit, written down things, you don't get the loan. You don't get, you can't refinance. They told me because I was disabled that I had come from, they said, well, no background in farms, but I have generation after generation in farms and ranching in Kern County, okay? It's not my fault that my parents moved away, okay? But I came back, and I wanted to have a farm. They told me no experience, no farm loan. And so I got the experience. Now they say no refinancing because we don't refinance. Well, how do you save your farm? And husband leaving me, how do I save my farm? I want to save my farm for my kids. I want to show my girls they don't have to depend on a man to go out and work to be able to raise chickens when they don't have to. I'm disabled. I don't want my kids to get Social Security all their life. I don't want to depend on Social Security. But I'm disabled. Where do I get it? And the state doesn't have it. Federal government, I want to save my farm. They're going to have to change so that we can refinance our farm with those low interest rates. Okay? okay? And I want to expand my farm, but I have to save it first. They can't give me a farm service agency loan because my farm, operational loan, because they can't refinance it in that loan. And they can't do it if it's in jeopardy. So where do I go?
Why don't we talk specifically after this, and let's figure out how we can help you in terms of what are some of the hurdles that you're facing at FSA, and that invitation goes to everyone. Because we are focused on looking at what are the hurdles that people are facing, why aren't they able to get loans, what are some of the things that they're running up against in terms of filling out the application, what are the trends that we're seeing. So let's sit down and talk about that after this.
And do you guys know about agribility?
I don't.
Oh. Agribility, that is how I got to the conference. They have supported me. Martha Stiles and her staff have supported me, but they don't get anything but basically running their costs. They should be in there. These are people that are disabled, and they can work a farm, but they can't work a job because they might have to rest every hour. Okay? They can do it. People can do it.
Is Agribility a nonprofit?
Federal program
Oh, okay.
in USDA.
I don't know every federal program, I can assure you of that.
USDA, federal program. Agribility. Okay, thank you.
Okay. There's a gentleman right here, right behind you.
You know, I'm interested in kind of looking back a little bit and seeing how NAFTA, I don't know how the dynamics, the micro or macroeconomic dynamics that took place in trying to analyze and what effects the Mexican markets would have on us in California especially. And I was wondering for the future, you know, as we decide what we're going to grow and how we're going to grow it, and does it make sense to even grow it, you know, how that's going to come into play. Because the two things that are beginning to happen that I'm seeing is, one, you know, these big boxes are dominating, you know, the middle farmer that you're talking about that's gone out of business because the margins are shrinking with the Costcos and the Walmarts, and they're squeezing them and squeezing them and squeezing them. Same thing that happened in the computer business, you know. And now it's like, who's going to be left standing? While that's going on, a small farmer can find the niches that they can make money at. But if you don't know what's going to come in from Hermosillo or these different places, you know, you can have no market when you get ready to go, and you can't compete. And I was wondering, is there any information you can access that would tell us, you know, how long a season is, or how, you know, these different areas of Mexico, now that we've got both American farmers gone down there to farm, and I know it's not easy to do that either, but they're doing that thinking that, you know, that they can prolong a season or you know, maybe get it earlier or keep it later. But I don't know, can we access that on a website or something?
Yeah.
Or is it current information?
I have a couple answers for that question. That's why our focus has been on finding new markets, whether it's through farmers market development, just new research in terms of getting over barriers, where do you need to go, farm to school. So that's why that's a major component of this administration, is recognizing that not everyone is going to be able to supply to the big box or meet the demands of a big box store. So what are some other avenues that we have to create for those farmers that also need markets? So that's why a lot of our funding is focused in those areas. As far as looking at what other countries are doing, if you look at Mexico, there's a Foreign Ag Service, and I can actually give you some direct information in terms of what's Mexico producing, what seasons it is producing, and where its markets are. I do think it's good for farmers to really look at what their competitors are doing, as well as what markets may be available to them.